Hello, stars! My name is Blue, and today we are lost in Homestuck Epilogues Meet Chapter 6. I apologize for no video Wednesday. I was studying and I lost track of time. But I have been in a better mood lately, so we should be able to getting back onto our normal upload schedule really soon. Assuming the fact that I don't lose track of time and just completely forget to record. Anyways, look up. The sky is really blue, but it's a different kind of blue than Earth's sea sky. It's less, somehow. Like, someone took a photo of the sky and turned the contrast down a little, just enough to make the clouds blend into the horizon. That is to say, it isn't the kind of sky promised by a paradise planet. That is to say. Just an ordinary one. You realize suddenly how much you've missed the ordinary as opposed to supposedly perfect. You've been away from home almost as many years as you lived there, not just the sky. Everything else is exactly and nothing like you remember it. The scent of damp grass, the quality of the air, the solitude. There's nothing but white houses and maple trees as far as the eye can see. A woodpecker raps away incessantly at the tree with the tire swing outside your old bedroom window. You couldn't think of anywhere else to go, so you and your little army are sitting in a circle in your old backyard exactly 1 week before the meteor hits. It's you, Rose, Dave, Jade, and all 4 of your teenage progenitors, I don't know, each dressed in their god-tier garb, no trolls. No one who can die from anything less than a heroic sacrifice. At least, this is what you assume to be the reasoning for Rose's instructions to assemble your party this way. The wind slices down on the street, between a row of bungalows. It's chilly, carrying air from the mountaintops with it. Even that feels different. The wind moves through you now, under your skin, right into your bones, skimming the hollows the same way it does the homes of your salamander neighbors or opens the mailbox in front of your childhood house. The smell of cake baking wafts from the open window, and the sick stench of browning sugar fills the yard. You used to hate that too, but now it makes you want to. Okay. Dude, don't cry in front of all the cool teen versions of your friends. You hold back your tears with a big, ugly snort. Jake is sort of ruining the mood anyway by bouncing away on your old green slime pogo. Doesn't he realize how dangerous that thing is? Of course not. The fool. Dave fractures the silence by broaching a subject that's on everyone's mind but yours, apparently. Oh, where'd my mouse go? Oh. So, what's gonna happen to everyone we left in the wreck timeline? Well, I don't know exactly. I've been to that timeline 4 times now, and it always pretty much goes to shit. Oh. So, this has been bothering me as well. Is Kanaya going to be okay? And by Kanaya, I guess I mean everyone? Yeah, what about Karkat? And Terezi? And the mayor? Oh my god! What? Actually, Dave, I hate to say it, but I think John might have actually saved the mayor by bringing us all here. What? What could that possibly even mean? I just remembered, before John zapped us all here and unbrainwashed me, I think I was going to kill the mayor. What the fuck, Jade? No. Jade, that is seriously uncool. I know! I was gonna kick him right into the lava. That is fucked up on so many levels, I don't even know where to begin. It's like an Escher staircase on the of cartoon villainy. I got nothing. So it's so Grimbark? Woof woof. Jesus, no, Jade, it's stone cold evil. I can't believe you just said that shit and then wolfed at me. I can't even look you in the eye right now. Everyone, Everyone immediately turns to look to you. Oh, well, right words, wrong order. Like you're an authority. Which you kind of are. You were struck with the sudden and uncomfortable realization that you're the only adult in this yard. You have never felt like an adult until this moment. 18 years came and went, and nothing. And nothing really changed except that you're pretty certain you could grow a bitchin' mustache now if you want it. Votes to say that John can't grow a mustache. And you might even have one by now if you didn't feel a sense of duty to uphold the sacred Egberg tradition of shaving at least once per day. Even if it really isn't necessary. You owe at least that much to memory of your departed father. Let's chill off for a minute. I'm sure this is very confusing to all of you about the timeline you're leaving behind. Yeah, I get it. It's weird. I've already left one major timeline behind. Well, two if you count the one I just came from, where we're all adults. The truth is, I have no idea what happens to these timelines and all the people living in them when I just zap out of them to use my retcon powers to change stuff. They might stop existing completely. I don't know. The thing is, we can't really think about it. It's tough, but if we're all acting like the heroes here, read Elliot, and trying to do the right thing, then we have to put it all behind us. It's a sacrifice we're making. I mean, we're risking our lives by fighting a powerful monster, sure. But the sacrifice I'm talking about is saying goodbye to the life we thought we belonged to and all the people in it. Probably forever. It sucks, and I'm sorry I had to ask this of you all. But there's no other way. Everyone who has ever existed and will ever exist is counting on us, I think. So, yeah. Shrug. Good speech. It's all you can think to do to punctuate your sentence of lukewarm inspirational value. Judging from the confused looks on the others, all of them may share your assessment of your own or radical skills, except for one person. She perked up at your spiel, regarding you with alert, admiring eyes. Damn, John, I know we just met and all, but that was a fine-ass speech, and I don't know if I speak for the rest of my peeps here, but I'm fucking psyched. Let's do this shit. She wonks at you. Roxy, no. You weren't prepared to get passably hit on by a definitely not legal version of a girl you used to have a crush on the age. The age she was when you first met her, only a few hours after you watched the actually legal version of her engage in passionate hand-holding with her possibly aromantic skeleton alien monster girlfriend. You start to sweat again, and again, the unwelcome odor of undercooked meat emanating from your body makes itself known to your nose. Carson, I would appreciate it if you wouldn't text me right now. Is my phone on silent? Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, thanks. Anyways, we need to make battle plans. You quickly distance your mind from any additional discomforting thoughts about your old and semi-ex. And propel yourself into a wildly unrehearsed tactical planning session. No. You review each of your abilities, strengths, and weaknesses and cobble together a reasonably sound approach to besieging a young and bratty version of Lord English by the way of surprise attack. I forgot where it was. The planning is mostly disorganized and structureless, although some common themes that often reoccur involve you and your original three friends leading the charge, since you are the oldest and wisest and therefore the strongest, with the exception of Jade, whose guardian array of powers make her the most formidable of the group, bar none. Aside from that, it appears the consensus is that the melee will likely devolve into an absolute free-for-all. Windows. I'm just getting all sorts of interruptions today, aren't we? At least going by the general patterns of incoherent banter, shit-talking, and points of pandemic tactical disagreement plaguing the jam session, you overhear someone making a mention of a huge gay hope bubble. That can't be right. But you didn't catch who said it. A flamboyant pink spell? Yeah, this conversation is off the rails now. At the precise moment you believe the meeting has outlasted its usefulness, Jake does you a favor in effectively pounding the gravel for adjournment by rock backing it a bit too far on your lawn. Pogo and launching himself over the top of the ride on the next on the next bounce. His face plants right into dirt. Jeepers! Carson, I don't care. I don't care about the graduation going on at our old high school. Dirk goes to help Yard clean the Jake offered start. Jade follows to help out. It seems she wants to chat with Jake, considering it's their first time they've met, from her perspective. Some eruptions of chatter can be heard from the other members of the group. It's easy to forget since the reunion between your friends and all your young relatives happened so long ago from your point of view, but this is quite novel to everyone here. They hardly had a moment to process it, since your plan to drag them all off to fight Lord English has understandably stolen the thunder of an otherwise poignant homecoming. Can't read words today. Poor kids, you think. You decide to give the teens some space to work through their shift before you take off to save the universe. You end up wandering all the way around to the other side of your house and back until you reach a window facing the neighbor's fence. You can see into your dad's study from here. You go still. Feet rooted to the ground, heart hammering in your ribs. Your dad's sitting right there, smoking his pipe, operating his professional-looking, boring gray PDA. He's got the kitchen timer set up on his desk, and you hear the notes of his favorite fatherly jazz album filtered out through the window, which is only open by an inch. The sun hitting the glass in such a way you can't see his face. This is probably the last time you'll ever have the chance to talk to him. The urge is overwhelming, but you can't. And not just because your feet won't move and your throat is closing up, it's just that it would be a really bad idea to bother him. It would totally freak him out to have an adult version of his son show up out of the blue and knock on his window like a creep. He probably wouldn't even recognize you. Fair enough. It's time to go, John. You return to the backyard. Your teen friends have split off into genetically segmented group. Roxy and Rose sitting in the grass, Jade and your shared co-ecto parents laughing together by the green slime pogo, the Strides leaning against the furthest fence with a tense foot and a half space between them. It's heartwarming, but something doesn't feel right about it to you, possibly for selfish reasons. It's the selfish of your own perspective, wanting the memories you had of the reunion between all these people to be the most notable and legitimate manifestation of this event. To see the moment echo or play out all over again, to overhear the heartfelt confessions repeat themselves, it feels cheap. To you, that is. To the man who lived through it all before and selfishly doesn't want to have a memory tarnished with tardy reprisal. An exhibition of counterfeit emotional catharsis amongst pale shadows of those you care about most in the world. You wonder, do you see these teen versions of your friends as real? Are you treating them, at Rose's behest, as simple puppets, doing your part to insist they fill friend-shaped recesses in an essential plan to stabilize all else that can be considered important, a distinction no longer applying to them? Do you care at all about whatever fate it may be that you are sentencing these children to? Are you becoming as conflicted as fantastical evils of Paradox Space as Lord English himself? Are you becoming a monster, John Egbert? You can't bear to watch them bond any further than this, nor can you tolerate another moment of your self-incriminating revere. You wait one more minute before breaking it up, but not a second longer. Hey, kids? Please, adult John, don't do that. Rose gets up from the grass, elegant as a folds in paper, and brushes down her skirt. She tilts her head at you, looking very much like your Rose did when she saw you off that morning. It's obvious she's trying hard to hide her apprehension. Is it time to go? Yeah, I mean, no, if you want to be technical, I can zap us in whenever. Wherever, whenever. We have all the time in the universe if we want it. But if we don't leave now, you're afraid we never will. After all these years in the reverse directions, she still has your number. Rose gives Roxy a strange look, appearing to silently acknowledge the entire conversation that has been taking place, using a great volume of words that aren't being spoken. Oh, wait, I skipped a line. I guess it's true that people don't really change, they just grow up. Rose gives Roxy a strange look, appearing to silently acknowledge the whole conversation that has been taking place, using great volume of words that aren't being spoken. I guess. She smiles. Get the road on the show. Okay, everyone. I've never zapped this many people before, so let's all just hold hands, maybe, in a circle. I mean, that should work. God, this is so lame. It's not lame, it's perfect. Nah. Shh. Alright, is everyone ready then? Only Jade says yes enthusiastically. Everyone else takes a deep breath and looks around at each other. Hands are taking, some tentatively, some firmly. When all sweaty teenage palms are correctly grasped, you place your hand on Jade's shoulder and concentrate on where you need to go. The last thing you hear before zipping away is your dad's kitchen timer going off in his study. Chapter 7! How long will we be on this? Okay, this might be the last chapter. The boxing bell goes off like... Oh, we're back here. Okay. We're picking up on our cliffhanger. The boxing bell goes off like it's having a fit. And Dirk has to stick a finger in one ear to hear what Rose is saying over the cacophony of booze and buckets being lobbed towards the center stage. He considers it pretty fucking annoying, so he flips off the crowd and jumps the ropes. Always a good idea to abscond from the stadium before the customary show end riot hits full swing. The last standing robot scoops up Jake's unconscious body and cradles him in its chest before blasting off through the roof. On the other end of the phone, Rose lets him know what's up. It's not so much what's up as what is down. The answer to which is probably me. I mean that both physically and philosophically, by the way. You're down philosophically? Yes. I'm not sure what that actually means. What it doesn't mean. Dirk. Glad to see my genetic predisposition for melodrama is still alive, as well as my slimy I can't read today. Progeny, even after all these years. Please don't interrupt, this is important, and I need all the energy I can spare to sustain even a heavily monologic transmission of the relevant facts. I see, forgive my brief casual interjection into the conversation you initiated. Please continue. Excuse me? Thank you. Anyway, the matter at hand is my condition, with which you are already familiar. I've struggled to devise right away of telling you without causing undue alarm, which would unquestionably trigger the overbearing tendency of yours to solve the problem for me, which is to say, which is not the kind of circumstance my constitution can withstand these days. I could barely lift my wrist to my forehead to telegraph my infirmity, or of late. Your bullshit is precisely the thousand pound what? Feather that could knock me clean through my apartment's plate glass window. This is troubling to hear, of course, but rest assured, I am taking solace in the fact that infirmity doesn't seem to have spread to your vocal cords yet. See, Dirk, this is exactly the shit I don't need from you on this day. Sorry. Bottom line is this. I'm ascending, and it's terrible. Rose adjusts her position on the couch with the body language of one who is about to dive into the latest gossip about a mutual friend. The mutual, in this case, her tortured physique. Years of refining my Seer of Light powers have cursed me with what is approaching near infinite prescience. Dwelling in this idyllic post-canon realm has worn down the barrier separating my primary consciousness from the memories and experiences of all my doomed alternative selves, which were forgotten and discarded over the due course of our journey. As I approach the realization of my ultimate self, I cannot stop to extend the knowledge from seeping in. Extent. I'm plagued by near constant visions of the less fortunate versions of myself, as well as the broadening view of the meta-textual nature of our existence. Day by day I get closer to comprehending the full picture of the narrative. However, I'm still trapped in this limited body. There is only so much strain that my very finite synapses can take. It drains all of my energy to keep my consciousness focused on relevant events, and even when I'm losing my ability to discern what is and is not canonically relevant, let alone what is also true or essential, and all of this makes me incredibly fucking sick. Oh, is that all? Well, in the spirit of full disclosure, same. Rose is silent on the lines for a few minutes. Dirk can hear how labored her breath is, how thin it is. She snorts out a quick, humorous laugh. Really? That's the hottest take you can manage? Of course not. They haven't built the vessel yet that can withstand the temperatures of atmospheric entry of one of my hotter takes, let alone the hottest. It wasn't a take, it was an empathetic admission towards my pitiable, similarly omniscience-stricken offspring. We are suffering from the same condition, Rose. She allows several rare conversation beats to pass in silence between them to process the admission. Ow, just popped my neck. We are? Sure. It doesn't sound to me like you're suffering much at all. Well, I'm not. I guess I used the wrong phrase. You're suffering from it. I'm adapting to it. I already have, really. When were you going to tell me this? When you were ready. So you have determined that I'm ready to receive this rather critical piece of information now of all times. What distinguishes the present from the other moments you could have mentioned it? Were you waiting for the effects of my condition to become so unendurable that I finally felt the need to explain what was happening to me in full? Were you, in essence, waiting for a cry for help? Well, when you put it that way, it makes me sound like kind of a dick. But I guess it wasn't far from the truth either. Unbelievable. Look, it's not something you just spring on people like that, frivolously. Hey folks, just so you know, the boundaries of my awareness are coming apart, and now I know almost everything about everyone, everywhere. Also, the process should be tearing my body apart, but actually, I'm handling it quite well, thanks for the concern, though. Anyway, just thought I'd keep y'all fucking abreast on my incomprehensible brain and all. Peace. Oh, wait. we scrolled too far. We scrolled way too far. Okay. Fine, you're a cagey guy. This isn't breaking news. I'm not pissed at you, I'm just so confused. Why aren't you suffering the same effects as me? There will be a time to explain all of this. Despite whatever appearance of callousness I've maintained in withholding this information from you, I actually do have your best interest in mind. I don't want to wear you out on this call. There's so much more to say, but it can wait. For now, I'll mention that I've been alert to your problem for some time now, and I've been devising a solution which should permanently remedy it without compromising the boon of your expanding consciousness. You have? What is it? Would love to tell you, but I got some work to do. Why don't you stop by my studio later so we can hash this shit out in person? Right now, you should get some rest. Actually, I'm feeling oddly reinvigorated suddenly. I think I'm good for one more exposition if you are. Can't say I'm surprised, but no. Have I caught you at a bad time? Nah, but there's an election coming up and my work as political operative is going to be absolutely essential for the fate of humanity. I see. Wills within wills, I assume? There were always wills. Wills are everywhere. They aren't my wills, or yours. These wills don't have owners. Or designers, but they do have caretakers. They won't keep turning on their own without someone to grease the mechanism. What a burden it must be to recognize oneself as the role mechanist of the reality itself. It's a curse, but someone's gotta do it. Save your strength, come to my studio when you're feeling up to it. Goodbye. Dirk hangs up without waiting for a reply. He cracks his neck and tips down his shades so that way he can appreciate the full brunt of the sunset, purple and orange blending brilliantly into the horizon. She's worried about him, he thinks. While his ecto-daughter views herself as having a somewhat deft artistic hand that lends itself naturally to a gentle push-and-pull style of influence, Dirk knows his methods are mechanical, like those of an engineer. There's nothing adapt or interpretive about his method. Every piece has a purpose, a slot, an interlocking mechanism that functions pointlessly without the whole. Dirk is satisfied with this for the moment of particularly astute self-reflection, rocks back on his heels and launches himself into the sky. I probably can't read another chapter without just completely stumbling over every single word in that chapter. So we're gonna leave it off at chapter 7. I also don't want it to be like a fucking long chapter that will take us like 20 minutes to get through. But normal schedule should be resuming soon. I'm feeling better. I'm getting my studies done. And yeah, if you liked the video, wait, we're missing something. That's it for today's stars. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already to join our wonderful galaxy. Comment down below and I'll get back to you in some way or another. And I will see you for our next adventure. Remember, we're all made of the same cosmic dust, so be nice. Kate, love you, bye!